Hello everyone, it's been a while since I've done a Star Wars book review. However, I'm not going to be doing an expanded universe novel. Of course, as you know from the title of the video, I know you hear people are asking, Iron, why are you reviewing a new canon novel? You traitor! I mean, I still am not a fan of the new canon, I criticize it, but I do own a few new canon books. I just wanted to review them. I guess I kind of want to give something for fans of the new canon to watch. I will be reviewing Star Wars A New Dawn, the very first novel within the new canon. Alright, so this book, I believe, it came out in September 2014, so it's very, very early on in the new canon. Now, the only reason I bought this book was because it was either in late 2014 or maybe early 2015. I was at Barnes & Noble, and I wanted to buy a few Expanded Universe books. And they didn't really have... They had Plagueis, but they were missing another book I wanted. And so this was like 20% off, so I decided might as well buy it just for the heck of it. Because there was a lot of unsold copies of this book just sitting there on the shelves. I was like I said, I'll just buy it. So, anyway, to the book. Let's go over the things I like about this book. There was like a little bit of interesting world building stuff. Like, you know, the planet Gorse and its moon Cinda, I believe it was called. Correct me if I'm wrong, people who have read this book. So anyway, Cinda, the moon of Cinda is almost big enough to be like where it's almost like a binary planet, and they mine like these crystals on the planet, and it gets like converted to like some sort of fuel. So little bits of world building stuff like that is really cool. I really liked seeing Hera and Kanan meet because I'll be honest, like I do honestly think Rebels is one of the few decent things in the new canon. And I'm glad I got to see them meet each other. Like, it's funny how Kanan's flying his like rusty freighter, and he sees Hera's ship, and he's just like, damn, that's a good ship and a good pilot. I want to meet whoever's flying this. And so, yeah, I really like the meeting. I really like the villain, the Imperial Industrialist Count Vidian. I'll admit, he was kind of a cool villain, yeah. Like, he was intimidating, threatening, and I imagine him looking like he has the facial structure of the Grand Inquisitor in the new canon, but has like... Count Vidian's a cyborg, by the way, people, so this is why I'm saying this. Yeah, so he has facial structure of Grand Inquisitor, like the head-shaped facial structure, and kind of like the texture and metallic look of Ultron. Yeah, I thought he was a cool villain. Well, this is kind of going into a negative. There was a few of the side characters I cared about. Like, I thought Okadiah was kind of cool. He was the bartender on the planet who gave Kanan a job and a place to stay so he can hide. I kind of felt sad for Skelly. He's kind of like this demolitions expert who's like, he's aware that like what the people or what the Empire wants to do to the moon will cause it to collapse, and it'll cause all this instability with the orbit. And people just pass him off as like this conspiracy theorist who's crazy. And so he takes measures into his own hands to prove, like, see, I'm going to cause an explosion and show you this is dangerous and wrong to do. And he was also kind of like a punching bag for a lot of characters in this book, including Canon and Count Vidian. Yeah, I felt bad for poor Skelly. There was a lot of sympathy from me. Let's see. Some of the other side characters I don't really remember caring for that much, like the Basilisk characters. I don't really remember caring for them. And, okay, for a negative of this book is the pacing is, I admit, very slow. In fact, it wasn't maybe until about halfway or 2/3 of the way into the book where I actually started to get really interested and enjoy it. Because it's just, the pacing was way too slow, but from what I read afterwards, I did find enjoyable. So overall, A New Dawn is not bad, but it's not the greatest Star Wars book I've ever read. It's okay. But like I said, the elements I did enjoy were good. Of course, like the villain, Kanan meeting Hera. And to be honest, I would have loved to have like another adventure like this. Like how Kanan and Hera met. Oh yeah, like met up with Garazeb Aurelios and Sabine. So honestly, if I was to recommend this book, EU fans, you're not going to be interested in this book whatsoever. Unless you... I'd only recommend this book for die-hard Star Wars Rebels fans who really want to know how Kanan and Hera met, like where it all started. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. There's kind of like this weird thing where it's kind of like Kanan is kind of responsible for the message that Obi-Wan sent to keep Jedi away indirectly, because there's a part where Kanan, when he's a Jedi initiate, he has to like, oh, can this receiver be used to send Jedi away? And Obi-Wan overhears that. It's kind of cool, but I don't know. But it feels kind of unneeded too. Like Obi-Wan could have just come up with that on his own. So, I think that's all I have to say about Star Wars: A New Dawn. Overall, like I said, okay book. Not the greatest. Only read it if you're a die-hard Rebels fan. So, I will see you guys around.